The Nidek RT 5100 is an automated refractor head, allowing comfortable and quick subjective refraction for both the clinician and the patient. The compact design offers a space-saving and modern alternative to the traditional trial frame and lenses. The refractor head offers comfortable patient alignment with fully adjustable positioning and a large visual field of view of 40 degrees. Smooth and quick lens changes provide a quick and accurate refraction for the practitioner. The colour LCD control panel can be placed on a tower unit or on a tabletop to meet the demands of any test room. The screen is tiltable to improve practitioner comfort, whilst also allowing the patient easy viewing of inbuilt reading tasks and patient education tools. The user-friendly control panel allows a complete and easy refraction with inbuilt on-screen assistance to guide the practitioner as needed. The unit can be easily programmed to follow a refraction routine. The touchscreen of the control panel is used for altering the charts that are presented to the patient. The charts available will vary with the chart type that has been linked to the RT 5100 refractor unit. In this video, the chart we are using is the Nidek SC 1600. The control panel displays an enlarged view of the chart that has been selected and that is currently being displayed to the patient. The refractor unit is pre-programmed to automatically present the correct auxiliary lens or filter for the chart or test being selected. There are 3 pages listing the different chart types available. Page 1 contains our Snellen visual acuity charts. So we have letters, as well as our Landolt-Cs, covering a wide range of sizes from 6/150 all the way down to 6/4. Page 2 contains our picture testing and our number testing, as well as 2 different EDTRS Logmar visual acuity test charts useful for testing patients with low vision. Page 3 has a wide range of different images and pictures, some of which have stereopsis demonstrating capability. Back on the first 2 pages, the bottom half of the screen here demonstrates the essential auxiliary testing such as duochrome and cross-sil, as well as our visual function testing such as our contrast and our low illumination. The bottom half of the control panel is for the practitioner to alter the auxiliary lenses and filters offered to the patient during the subjective refraction. Here, we're able to import data from other Nidek devices such as autorefractors and lens meters to take the refraction from unaided visions all the way through to final RX. At the top half of the panel just here, we're able to change between sphere, sil, axis, add and visual acuity measurements, as well as the ability to measure the patient's PD. We're also able to add in vertical and horizontal prism as required. On the far side of the panel just here, we're able to use these buttons to mask and isolate different lines and letters. The dial here allows us to wind up and down in 0.25 steps. Alternatively, the practitioner can decide to control their subjective refraction using the touchscreen as an alternative to the button on the control panel. So the RT 5100 is fully adjustable to get it as comfortable as possible for your patients. To line up, push the machine towards the patient, adjusting the height as needed using the arm here and securing that in place using the lock. We're able to adjust the tilt of the device both side by side and forward and backwards using the 2 grey knobs at the top. Along the side here we have a small spirit level to get the device as lined up and level as possible. When the patient's forehead is in the correct position, the blue light at the front here will go off, and we're able to adjust the position of that forehead rest using the small grey knob at the front. We're able to adjust the patient's PD using the PD button on the control panel. By pressing that, we get white graticules here in the centre of the eyepieces that we can manually line up using the dial of the control panel. Once we're happy that the patient's pupils are centred in the eyepieces there and lined up with the graticule, by pressing the PD button, we can start our subjective refraction. Using the viewer just on the side here, we're able to check for back vertex distance, which is automatically set at 12 millimeters. Using the touchscreen or the buttons on the control panel, the optometrist is easily able to run through their subjective refraction routine. They can choose to do a monocular refraction using the occluders just here, or a binocular refraction if they wish. Running through a quick routine now, I start off by just occluding over the left eye. Once we've done that, we can then move on to the lens meter data or our autorefractor data if we've inputted it from another device, or you may choose to do retinoscopy at this point. If so, click on the lens just here and we've got our retinoscopy working distance lenses here. Once we're happy there, we can move on to the subjective button. Pressing subjective there, we can start by trying to refine our best vision sphere, and we can do that by selecting the smallest letters the patient is able to read and then offering them 025 steps with and without and asking which is better. Once we're happy that we've got their sphere as best we can, we'll move on to the duochrome test, asking the patient whether the letters and the numbers appear clearer on the red or the green. Once we're happy, we'll move on to the cross-cell technique, starting off by trying to refine the axis. We're asking the patient whether the dots appear rounder and darker or clearer with option number 1 or option number 2. And once we're happy, we can move on to refine the power in the same way, either by using the dial or by using the 2 options just here. Finally, we can come back to the letters, hopefully improving on what we had initially and getting the patient to read a little bit further down the chart, selecting individual lines using the arrows just here, and then that will record as a VA just here. Once we're happy with the first eye, we can move over to the other eye and repeat the process. Once we have a finalised distance prescription for both eyes, we can move on to our binocularity testing, and that may be our fixation disparity, or it may be binocular balancing by using the binocular balance function here. Once we're happy with our distance prescription, we can move on to check our near visual acuity using our add function here and the reading rod attached to the top of the phoropter head. To enter into the reading mode on the control panel, press the add button, and then it'll give you an option to select the patient's age. From that, it'll give you a starting point for your reading addition. You can then use the dial to scroll up and down, asking the patient whether the vision becomes clearer or worse with the 2 options. On the touchscreen panel here, we also have 2 reading options. Pressing the first option here, this is our reading grid. And if we spin the wheel around until the patient can see the grid as well, we're asking them to compare whether the lines are clearer horizontally or vertically, making the adjustments as recommended on the screen here. The second reading option is our N10 reading option, and this just checks that the patient's able to see with their final reading prescription comfortably at a visual acuity of N10. It's possible to program the RT5100 to run through your refraction routine automatically. Selecting the menu button here, and if we select Others and Programming, you're able to go through and adjust the different programs with the test order that you would like. Coming back onto the main screen here, you then select the Program button to enter into the program you want, pressing Shift and Program if you'd like to select a different program, and then pressing the Forward button to run through the different tests in the correct order. Selecting the menu button here, we're able to view the parameters for the RT5100, and there's a wide range here that you can customise as needed, work through the screens and adjust to meet your requirements. The Nidek RT5100 can be integrated with other Nidek devices such as lens meters and autorefractors, and you can input the data into the device using the Import button here. Similarly, once you've finished your refraction, you can export the data from the RT5100 into practice management software.